Hey guys, this is Tauna. Today we have the awesome reveal. This is the Abzan Dex Spirit Dragon, which is pretty cool. I'm very excited to kind of check out these decks. They look really cool. I love dragons. I've got a Miram deck, which is one of my favorite decks of all time. So more dragons is always going to be great. This leaked prior to it, but was officially revealed as a part of the Commander at Home. And it's very interesting and has some of the most uniquely Abzan abilities. It's just pure Abzan. So this is it here, Betor Ancestor's Voice. So it's 2 white, black, green. It has a legendary creature, Spirit Dragon. It's got flying, lifelink, and then at the beginning of your end step, you're going to put a number of +1/+1 counters on up to one other target creature. So it can't be on Betor, any other creature you control, equal to the amount of life you gain, and then you get to return up to one target creature card with mana value less than or equal to the amount of life you lost this turn from the graveyard to the battlefield. So it's got that kind of life gain and life loss matters, which is pretty interesting. So this is obviously kind of the secondary commander for the deck, given that it's not on the theme of the actual deck. The actual theme of the deck is toughness / defenders matter kind of stuff. So it's an interesting commander that kind of cares about both life lost and life gain, which we've seen a little bit of before with a couple different commanders. But this one is the first that kind of you can do both in a turn. The others were choose one or the other. And this is about as Abzan as it gets, right? It's got +1 counters, it's got life gain, it's got life loss, it's got reanimation on it. It's just a little bit of everything that Abzan commanders usually do. So some interesting synergies. First of all, we've got Astarion. So Astarion has the option of either doing the double the life lost to someone, or you get to do that extra life gain onto yourself. We've also got the Bloodletter of Aklazots. If we're going to be draining everyone at the table, which, including ourselves, we've got the option here of making it so that they lose more life than us, which is great. And it's an additional kind of, way to add in more life loss for yourself while making it so that it's not quite as symmetrical across the table. We've got a few different ones from Bloomburrow that were cared about both life loss and life gain, namely around the bats, so like Lunar Convocation here, or the Essence Channeler. We've got some interesting ones here with Wound Reflection, very similar to the previous ones. Vampire Scrivener cared about both life loss and life gain. Montarian has the option of you paying mana at the end step to be able to create Black Astartes Warriors based off of the amount of life loss you've done. So he would be a very interesting kind of, fill the board with a whole bunch of extra blockers for yourself. It depends if you want to go with more on the dragon theme, or you're more just generically wanting life loss and life gain in the deck, which he will do and be helpful to go alongside it. So as I was talking about before, about the ones that kind of cared about both life loss and life gain, Willow Dusk was one of them, where she had the option of being tapped and then put a number of +1s based off of either the life you gained or the life you lost, whichever's greater. And that's kind of rolled in here into the commander, where you've got the +1s. That's based off of, the life gain, the +1s, and then kind of separating out that life loss into a separate ability. Obviously, you can go more into the life gain or life loss stuff. Dina does more the life gain area and then drain everyone else. Beladros does both. You've got the creation of these pests to give you life back, but then you can also do a -10 life to just untap all your lands. And that's a great way to be able to untap all your lands, get a whole bunch of more value, and then you get to pump out with your commander to be able to reanimate something with it. Was it? The reanimation was the life loss. So you get to reanimate basically anything because you've lost 10 life there. Lathiel is great, does a whole bunch of life gain stuff. And does basically what your commander does already, chucks out more +1s. And assumably that's going to be throughout the deck. Some more kind of, counter +1/+1 synergy, because that's kind of Abzan's thing with I think it was Bolster was from Khans, and then I can't remember what the one was from Dragons. Or maybe Dragons was Bolster and then the Khans was the other one. But either way, life gain, give you +1s. Obviously, with black, you've got a whole bunch of those kind of drain you at the start of your upkeep abilities as well. They're going to go great here to get a whole bunch of synergies out. Black market connections will give you extra dragons. If you want to go dragon heavy, we'll talk about that in a sec, but then you've got dragons there too. Or you can just add some, creation of card draw, or just create some fairies or whatever. Those kind of, deal with the devil kind of abilities on your upkeep. Then, going into like the dragons aspect of it, you've got Ancestor Dragon to give you some life gain when you attack, Scaled Nurturer, a mana dork that's going to gain you life, which is great. Cockashu, the Evening Star here. When it dies, drain people and then also give you life gain. So if you've got a way to be able to sack him out and then reanimate him, that's going to be a big kind of bomb that, you're going to get a whole bunch of +1s. Potentially, if you've drained yourself for, 6 a turn, which isn't too hard, then you can reanimate him and then do it again each turn. We got Junji here, the Midnight Sky. When it dies, you can either make people discard and lose life, or you could, make yourself lose life there and then reanimate a non-dragon. So obviously that's not going to work well with your dragons, but you're going to have some non-dragon stuff in there that synergizes well with your dragons, like whether it's your mana dorks or whatever. Ancient Brass Dragon, just a huge reanimation. That one's more expensive, but going to go really well in here with like the whole, potential reanimator theme that you could see within here. Your commander already does reanimation, so adding in like 1 or 2 extra reanimations isn't going to be a bad idea in my opinion. So thoughts, I'd love to hear from what you guys think and what you think, is it an interesting commander? I'm thinking about potentially replacing my Amalia deck with him when he comes out to kind of see how, or play my Amalia deck to just kind of check as to how it goes. And make sure you guys subscribe, make sure you share the video around, all that kind of stuff. Hope you guys had a great day and goodbye.